Hello. So today I wanted to tell you about the game Rivages, and this is one of those and write games. So in this game, you will have different maps that you are exploring your way across, and as you complete them, you will get more maps and you will get points for the missions that you complete on your map. But the way that you get to cross things off on your map is really interesting. So this game plays 1 to 5 players, and it is a good solo mode, and there's even ways to make it more difficult and change the difficulty, so I do enjoy it solo. So there is a big stack of maps, and they're all different. So every player is going to get a map at random to start, and the rest will just be face down, because as you complete a map, you can get a new map, and then everyone will get one of these tracks. This is the easier side, the A side, that it literally just follows one path, and whenever you cross off a symbol, you get that benefit. Or once you know the game, you can play on the B side, where things branch off and get a little bit trickier, give you some more choices, and let you use some more strategy. So everybody will have that to start, and you have your pen and your wipey. And I love that they include a wipey for every person, so that you're not having to run around, in our case, usually getting some toilet paper to quickly wipe everything off. So you then also have this bonus for the end, based on player count, for how many bonus points you will get based on who completes the most maps. So the biggest thing in this game that gets you points is these scrolls. The purple ones are 1 point, the orange ones are 5 points. And on your map, you have a couple different ways to explore and get scrolls, and then you have a central mission that sometimes gets you scrolls. In this case, it's going to get you a loot bag, which comes from this bag, and I appreciate that it's actually a bag that a human can get their hand inside of and isn't just this little tiny thing that you're having to figure out. But the loot tiles have a ton of good benefits on them, and the cool thing about the loot tiles is when you collect one of those, you can save it and use it at any point that you want, which is really helpful. And if you don't use it, they're worth a point at the end of the game, but they're great to come in, in clutch when you're like, oh, I really need this, and you have a loot token to do that. The other benefits on your board must be done immediately, but loot can be saved. So the way that it works is there will be end game cards that are going to go on the bottom, and as soon as they become visible, that means we're in the final turn. And then after that, all the cards have a player count on them. So you will use all of the cards that are appropriate for your player count between 2 and 5. So a 2-player game, we would just use all of these. We shuffle them up. Everything in this game is already marker friendly, laminated, plasticated, whatever you want to call it. So to start your turn, you have 2 cards, and you are going to look at them. And you may choose from the top available row only what you're going to do. So your map has 2 boats, and you need to get from one boat to the other and complete all of your missions in order to complete the map. So you get to decide which boat you want to start at. So I'm going to start at this boat, and I just cross it off. So looking at my options, I have to mark adjacent to things already on my board. So starting out, I can mark green or yellow, and anything that is the white is a wild. It can be any color essentially. So I think I'm going to take this card. So I will mark, I get 3 greens. So we will go 1, 2, 3. And then a blue, which I don't have any blue next to me, but I do have this white. And that gets me a statue, which gets me that first one there. And I get my first scroll. So this tells me I need to complete 1 green area for this mission. And this tells me I need to complete a 2nd green area for my next mission. They cannot be the same area for each one. And then here it's yellow. And then on this, I need to mark one of the statues, which I did, which this is a really easy mission. Some are more difficult. So I get another scroll, and I get a loot token, and scrolls are just points that I can save. So I could use that now, or I can save it. I'm going to save it. I don't want to use it right now. So I used this row of the card. So I now pass these 2 cards to the next person face down, and I will receive 2 cards from them. So we're going to say that they did that on their turn. So now it's to me, and I look at these, and I now get to choose the topmost available row. So it's this row now or this row. If you're handed a card and everything is crossed out, then you draw a new card. So that's how that deck is going to get exhausted, which then when we see the purple cards show up, that means we are in our final round. So we just keep going. I keep crossing things off on my map, focusing on my missions and getting to my second boat so that I can then get a new map and start again. And you just keep going like that. But I love that you're passing the cards around and that different things are going to be marked off. So you never know exactly what you're getting. And based on player count and based on what other people choose, some cards may come back to you with something available on them, or you may not see that card again. So I think this game is really clever. Like I said, the solo mode is great. In the solo mode, you only have 8 cards that you have to use. And anytime you use one up completely, it's out of the game. And once a certain number of cards are out of the game, that's it. So you have to use it very strategically. And you have a score you're trying to beat. And then there's also some extra challenges that you can add into the solo game that make it more difficult for you. And you have a card telling you need to get 26 scrolls. So I think this is a really great blank and write game. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. I've had it for probably about a year or so, and I really enjoy it. So I think this is a good one. And I do think it plays really great at all the player counts because it is simultaneous play. Nothing gets bogged down. So it is a snappy game and does play the same length of time pretty much at 1 or 5 players. So I really enjoy this one. Let me know if you've played it, what you think of it. Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.